I don't know. Men just disgust me. Everything about them, they disgust me. You know, doing things I do with them, it's just not, like I said, what I picture myself doing when I was a kid. You know, wanting to work with animals or, you know, be a meteorologist or, you know, a doctor or something. You know, not a whore.
Why Craigslist?
Craigslist is just the quickest, fastest, easiest way to get money.
We found 20-year-old Jessica after spotting her ad on the Virginia Adult Services section of Craigslist.
So you spend most of your life in a hotel room like this?
For the past 2 to 3 years, yeah.
How many guys do you sleep with on an average day?
3 to 5 on an average day.
How much money is that?
I get $150 for half an hour and $250 for the hour. That's what I charge. I mean,
Jessica says she and most of the girls she knows who sell sex on Craigslist are being trafficked by pimps who take their money and their freedom.
What would happen if they said, you know, I'm sick of this, I'm done selling myself on Craigslist, I want to leave?
I can't leave. I cannot leave. I'm his. I'm his property. He owns me. I cannot leave him. And that's how it is with most girls, I would think. They can't.
Since our investigation aired last week, anti-sex trafficking organizations took out an ad in the Washington Post, and in it, 2 girls who claim they were sold for sex on Craigslist plea with Craig to shut down the adult services section. They even addressed the letter to Craig. One of the girls says, I was sold for sex by the hour at truck stops and cheap motels, 10 hours with 10 different men every night. This became my life. Men answered the Craigslist advertisements and paid to rape me. Another one of these girls was underage when she was being sold on Craigslist, and she writes, Dear Craig, I'm MC. I was first forced into prostitution when I was 11 years old by a 28-year-old man. I am not an exception. So Craigslist CEO Jim Buckmaster wrote a response to the Washington Post ad. He wrote this blog. Buckmaster says Craigslist is anxious to know that the perpetrators in these girls' cases are behind bars. He asked the advocates to email him the police reports so Craigslist can improve preventative measures. CNN has seen the police report for the so-called AK. MC is still a minor, so her records could not be released, but 2 sources tell us they have seen her arrest records for prostitution. This is Malika with the Rebecca Project, and her organization posted that ad in the Washington Post.
I think that it's also important for him to acknowledge that the stories of these girls are true. It's thoughtful that he wants to catch the perpetrators. I think if he wants to catch perpetrators, then he ought to create better screening processes so that children aren't raped and sold online.
Sex for hire ads are against Craigslist's stated policy. The company says it, quote, manually screens all adult services ads and will reject any that look or sound like they're selling sex. We caught up with the Craig in Craigslist, Craig Newmark, at a speech he was giving in Washington, D.C. on trust. He agreed to this interview on Trust on the Internet. What are you guys doing to protect these girls? You guys say in the blog that you'll remove any ad that looks like the person might be suggesting they're going to offer sex. Look at this ad. It says, young, sexy, sweet, and bubbly. Clearly here she writes $2.50 an hour. I mean, what do you think she's selling in her bra and underwear? A dinner date? And she's in her bra and underwear.
Have you reported
what are you guys
this
doing?
to us?
But you guys say you screen all these ads manually in your blog.
I don't know what this is.
But in Jim Buckmaster's blog, he says these are being screened.
This to us?
Why do I have the responsibility to report this to you when it's your website? You're the one posting this online. Under the Communications Decency Act, Craigslist is not liable for what users publish on its site. But if Craigslist knows it's happening and vows to stop it, why do they allow it to continue? Victims advocates say it's about one thing: money. The internet research firm AIM Group projects the site will make $36.5 million, a third of its total revenue, from the adult services ads this year. After our first story aired, we were contacted by Craigslist CEO Jim Buckmaster, and he sent CNN this response. He says, Craigslist is vigilant in barring child sex ads and prominently features anti-trafficking and exploitation sites. He also says, quote, we will continue to work tirelessly in tandem with law enforcement and key nonprofits to ensure that any of these victims receive the assistance they desperately need and deserve. Amber Lyon, CNN, Washington.